So good evening, I'm Rick Salguero. I'm the Executive Director of VA Western Colorado Healthcare System, and I am your Master of Ceremonies for this evening. On behalf of about 1,000 or so employees, it is my station's pleasure to serve as the host of the 36th Winter Sports Clinic. As a sign of respect, if I could ask you to please switch your phones to silent during the ceremony, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. So I have to say, things did not look good back in mid-December when we had to make our recommendation whether this event was a go or a no-go to the Secretary. And you may recall this thing called the Delta variant. It triggered, and at the time in mid-December, we had the highest COVID-19 rate of transmission than we ever had seen. And alas, after 2 years of COVID-19, 130 veterans were able to enjoy our week-long Winter Sports Clinic event. That's all right. Judging by the many laughs, smiles, cheers witnessed on the Hill this week, I think it's safe to say that we all had a wonderful, fulfilling experience. So we had to put in place a number of measures to keep you all healthy, and I appreciate everyone's respect of those rules. These are things that we had to do. Our goal from the start was to keep each of you safe, and I believe we were able to get that job done. Many of our vendor partners also followed suit and followed the compliance of our infection control protocols. For example, the team at the snowmobile event, they were also fully compliant with all of our standards. And when I talked to the manager of that operation, he said, yeah, we're one team. That's what this is all about. We're here to keep you safe too. So my hat's off to all those vendors. They were outstanding. So I was talking to the recreational therapy team, as well the Winter Sports Clinic team, and also Mr. Gelati. Mr. Gelati's over here. And I was talking to him about the history of this event. And I wanted to share a couple of highlights with you that I thought might be of interest. So go back to 1987. So that's when this event actually began. And the event began with a Mr. Sandy Trumpetta. Does anybody know Sandy? All right, so everybody knows who Sandy is. He was at the time, he was the supervisor of the recreational therapy service at the VA Western Colorado Healthcare System. And there was a veteran by the name of Joe, who loved to ski, yet had been diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is a syndrome that develops into chronic paralysis. Although Joe would try to ski, he fell at approximately 10 feet or so. Sandy saw a need to creatively develop the first hybrid toboggan sled that was able to support Joe and enabled him to once again do what he loved to do in life, which was to ski. I believe this story embodies what our Winter Sports Clinic has become, an event that enables our national heroes to do what they love to do. Moreover, reaffirms our VA is committed to taking care of veterans and their families. I'd like to say a special thanks for all the effort this week from our combined DAV, VA staff, corporate sponsors, and volunteers, as well this great Snowmass community. Hua? So it's been my honor this week to get out and meet you great Americans. The past few days, some of you I bumped into, you've been coming here for over 25 years. And that's outstanding. I'd like to say a special thanks again to the Snowmass community. They've been hosting us here for, I think this is the 13th year. I've been trying to get a hold of Teresa where is Teresa? To confirm that factoid, but I believe that's the case.
Say again?
21. 21? Okay, thank you for that. I'm glad I asked you that. Thank you. But let's just say this: this Snowmass community has been a gracious community. It's been a supportive community. This has been a very veteran-centric community, and my hat's off to them. They are outstanding. This is a great place. So at this time, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would like to leading us today in our Pledge of Allegiance this evening is U.S. Army veteran Robert Mendoza. He is 76 years old, and this is his first Winter Sports Clinic.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'd like to make some introductions of some special guests who are here with us this evening, and I'd ask you to please hold your applause until the end. First, the Honorable Dennis McDonough, Secretary of the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. Sir. Miss Brianne Ogilvie, Assistant Deputy Undersecretary of Policy and Oversight, Veterans Benefits Administration. Good evening to you. Dr. Gerald Cox, Assistant Undersecretary for Health for Quality and Patient Safety. Sir. Dr. Lou Beck, Deputy Undersecretary for Health for Policy and Services and Senior Advisor to the Undersecretary for Health. Mr. Ralph Gelati, Network Director, Vision 19. Mr. Leif Nelson, VA's Director of National Veteran Sports Programs and Events. Mr. John Kleindienst, DAV National Voluntary Services Director, John. And Ms. Teresa Parks, Director, National Disabled Veterans Winter Sports Clinic. Where are you? So at this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Honorable Dennis McDonough. Before coming to the VA, he served as the 26th White House Chief of Staff and as Principal Deputy National Security Advisor. He deeply believes, as he testified to Congress, that there is no more sacred obligation nor noble undertaking than to uphold our promises to our veterans, whether they came home decades ago or days ago. Please join me in welcoming the 11th Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Dennis McDonough.
Rick, thank you so much for the very generous introduction, for your leadership of the Western Colorado healthcare system, and most importantly, for all you do for our veterans. I want to just say that I was just whispering to Dr. Cox and Dr. Beck that Teresa is always hiding in the back, even though, as near as I can tell, she makes this whole thing happen. So, that's Dr. Teresa. So, three quick things right off the top. First, it's sure good to be here with a great group of veterans. Second, it's really good to be out of Washington, D.C. And third, it is a pleasure to be able to do those first two things here in the beautiful mountains of Colorado. So thanks for having me. Today's events have been simply incredible for me. talking to amazing veterans as they participated in many events and really powerful roundtables with me, attending the awesome medal ceremony, visiting with the magnificent staff and volunteers from VA and DAV who make this winter sports clinic possible. One thing I will not forget is Big John saying, you know what this whole thing reminds me, he says, is I'm reminded that there really isn't anything I cannot do. You know, all the vets here today, you inspire me. The truth is, you inspire us all. There's simply no group of people who know better than you what it means to serve. And when veteran athletes engage in adaptive sports, you send a powerful message to spectators, sponsors, therapists, doctors, and other veterans. In fact, to every American. That message is about the perseverance of veterans and the endurance of the human spirit and the strength of Americans, and therefore all of America, this wonderful country. Truly, you inspire us all. And right now, that is the kind of inspiration our country and the world can use more of. I'm talking about the story of veterans like Runar Paulison and Orlando Perez. Runar, who I see right in front of me and I was able to meet earlier today, is a Navy veteran with almost a decade of active and reserve service as a corpsman, taking care of Marines and Special Operations service members. After leaving the Navy in 1990, Runar earned his degree as a registered nurse and then his master's in nursing, working in trauma wards and emergency rooms in Virginia, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Florida. In 2007, he saw the light. Came to work at VA. While working at the Miami VAMC, he went on to earn his doctorate in nursing, applying his skills and compassion to caring for fellow veterans, and eventually became the chief nurse at the Miami VA Medical Center. But in 2014, he had to leave VA, a couple of years after having been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Receiving treatment at a VA spinal cord injury center at the Miami VAMC, he learned for the first time about the opportunities and camaraderie presented at our adaptive sports clinics. Runar has now twice attended the summer sports clinic in San Diego. He's a repeat participant in this event, the Winter Sports Clinic. Here at Snowmass, making his 8th or 9th appearance this year. He's practically lost count after so many. He hasn't caught up to Wendy yet, but he'll get there. Runar, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a peer counselor to other vets, for sharing your experiences with so many others, and for inspiring us all with your determination and grit. Runar, do I see you out there? Yeah, there. You can see, right?
Right here.
Orlando Perez is an Army veteran from Puerto Rico. I recently had the privilege of meeting him and his wonderful wife, Marcy, in Salt Lake City at the VAMC. In 1995, while training for a deployment, Orlando fell from a wall, landing on his back. The fall caused a cyst in his spinal cord that eventually left him paralyzed from the waist down. And then, partly because of his involvement in VA adaptive sports, he competed in wheelchair basketball for the Puerto Rican basketball team. In 1999, he received the Puerto Rican Wheelchair Basketball Rookie of the Year award. He won the 2005 National Veteran Wheelchair Games Spirit of the Games award. And in 2017, he was the flag bearer for Puerto Rico at the 2017 Wheelchair Basketball America's Cup. Over the course of his career, he earned 4 international medals, retiring from wheelchair basketball in 2017. Orlando also attended the Winter Sports Clinic 4 times, in 2006, when he was first introduced to skiing, and again 2007, then 2015 and 16. After retiring from the Puerto Rican basketball team, he took up para-alpine skiing. Just this month, he was in Beijing for the 2022 Paralympic Winter Games, where he was again the flag bearer for his team. Orlando says of paralpine skiing, and I quote, "I found something that I can keep up with right next to everybody else. Able-bodied skiers, sit-down skiers, we can all go as fast as we want. If I don't make it, it's all me." And I like to put that pressure on myself because it's going to help me open my mind to how I can help others. Veterans like Runar and Orlando, their growth, participation, and encouragement of others are the epitome of what this winter sports clinic, they're the epitome of what all our adaptive sports events are about. And like all worthwhile events, this clinic is the product of teamwork and collaboration. So let me just thank and acknowledge a few folks. Starting with Andy Marshall, DAV National Commander, John Kleindienst, your National Voluntary Services Director, and all the good folks from DAV who partner with us to host this event, as you have done for over 35 years. Thank you all. My deep appreciation to all of the many sponsors whose generosity and compassion made it possible for us to be here again this year. To all the volunteers who come to Snowmass to help create this miracle on the mountain, my heartfelt thanks to you for your spirit and your generosity. To my dedicated and enthusiastic VA colleagues, let me especially recognize Dr. Beck, Leaf, Teresa, as I did once before, Ralph, and to all the VA doctors, rehab therapists, clinicians, and other dedicated employees at VA medical centers and VA facilities across the nation. People like Patty, who helped make sure that Big John got here. Right? To the local leaders and officials who always make veterans and clinic staff feel so welcome here in beautiful Snowmass. And finally, and most important, my personal thanks and gratitude to the spouses, parents, families, caregivers, and friends of our athletes. It takes a strong foundation and support system of love, care, and compassion to get here. You are that foundation, so I thank you. So let me close my remarks by again talking to this year's athletes. I hope you all had a great time. And I trust that some of what you did here, that you saw here, and that you accomplished here will stay with you after this closing ceremony. Because this Winter Sports Clinic is about more than what you did here this week. It's also about navigating challenges and how you choose to live your lives the other 51 weeks of the year. And as I said at the top, you are an unbelievable inspiration to all of us. God bless you all, your families, and your caregivers, and may He bless all our men and women, all our veterans in this great nation. So to all of you, amazing participants, athletes, I say thank you very much. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to present a well-earned, well-deserved award. Rick, can you come back to the stage, please? What you see here is the Secretary's Award, presented to the management and staff, VA Western Colorado Healthcare System, Grand Junction, Colorado, in recognition and appreciation for your continued support and commitment to serving veterans participating in the 2022 National Disabled Veterans Winter Sports Clinic. congratulations to all you all. I know that the work culminates this week, but it's a full year effort. So thank you for all your success. Once again.
Thank you, Secretary McDonough. Next, it's my honor to introduce DAV's National Services Director and Marine Corps veteran, hoorah, Mr. John Kleindice. Come on up here, John. Hold on for a second. So, in John's position, he's got a huge job. He oversees the nation's most prolific volunteer efforts to serve our veterans, totaling more than 8 million volunteer hours annually. Initiatives under his purview include the DAV Transportation Network, which provides veterans more than 625,000 rides to their local VA medical centers every year. He also leads and supervises VA voluntary services, local veterans assistance programs, DA's involvement in the National Disabled Veterans Winter Sports Clinic, as well the National Disabled Veterans Gold Clinic each September in Iowa. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Kleindice.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I love how low these microphones are for the staff, folks. It has been it has been good. It's so good to see all of you in person this week. I know I'm not alone when I say being here and being part of this event is one of the greatest highlights and joys of the year, and I'm so glad we're back. Nothing can replace witnessing the smiles on your faces as we ski, or in my case, fall, down the mountain, have the perfect cast over water, or discover a newfound passion for sled hockey. Nothing can replace the stories of renewed hope you share as you realized this week is way more than just having winter fun, that it's a catalyst for discovering that you can challenge and overcome your perceived limitations. And nothing can replace this community of people here. First, the incredible team of volunteers and staff who spend countless hours making this week go as smooth as a run in fresh powder. And then, of course, our participants who develop lifelong friendships formed by a common bond of service and sacrifice while realizing how limitless their potential is. When we were last together here in 2019, I reminded everyone that life doesn't end with adversity. Adversity simply marks a new beginning. At that time, there was no way of knowing how prophetic that statement was. But less than a year later, globally, we found ourselves dealing with an adversity we never could have fathomed. As the pandemic wore on, we saw setbacks, challenges, and loss that have left all their scars on us. But in the midst of all of that, we began to see an overwhelming resilience. Instead of permanently shutting down and accepting isolation as the new normal, we used that time wisely to reflect on what's important in life. For many of us, it was that work we do for our veterans and their families is just far too important to stop. It was the affirmation that nothing can replace human interaction and community. It was that challenges are meant to be overcome. Through every interaction I've had this week, it's been clear that we've emerged with a steeled resolve and renewed energy. Your very presence here this week, all of you, is evidence of this resiliency. We are stronger because of the challenges we have faced and conquered. It is important that we thank those who made this week on the mountain possible. First, our volunteers. They are our miracle workers that make miracles on the mountainside happen. While we may never truly see all the effort that it takes to pull this off, we thank you for your dedication. It's because of you. It's because of you that we're able to host this clinic and show our incredible participants that they can do more than ski down the mountains. They can move them. Limitations be damned. Please, let's give it up for our volunteers. We owe our sponsors a big thanks too. Though we haven't been able to interact with them as much as we'd like, Through uncertain times, you've stuck by our side and generously supported this event. You believe in our mission and you believe in these veterans. Let's give our sponsors a hand. And a big thank you to our co-presenters and friends at the VA. Every day they seek innovative, veteran-focused ways to provide care and rehabilitation to those who serve this country. These adaptive sports programs are just one way they can do this. We love that we get to partner with them for this event and the National Disabled Veterans Golf Clinic. Please be sure to check out their other offerings and learn about the work they do. Thank you to the dedicated VA team who made this week happen. And of course, every great team needs a great leader, and we have one in Teresa Parks. Year after year, her passion remains unending for showing veterans what they're capable of achieving through the challenge in sport. She works tirelessly in her role as the director of the National Disabled Veterans Winter Sports Clinic. This week is an incredible week. It is all because of her. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Teresa Parks. Finally, thank you to our participants for coming to the 36th National Disabled Veterans Winter Sports Clinic. I hope you head back to your homes and families renewed, refreshed, and resilient to any challenges that may come your way. I hope you've been able to form unbreakable bonds with others here, and I hope you know how much your service and sacrifice for your country is appreciated. We at DAV are proud to stand alongside of you. Thank you, God bless you, your service and your families. Safe travels home, and God bless America.
So next in our ceremony is the DAV Freedom Award. Our final award every year goes to one veteran who has been selected as the premier representative of the courage, perseverance, and determination this event represents, which is the DAV Freedom Award. Please welcome once again DAV's John Klondice, who will present this year's award. John.
The 2022 DAV Freedom recipient is a Marine Corps and Army veteran who became an amputee due to a racing accident in 1993. While such an injury could obviously slow someone down, this clinic participant pushed forward and became the first amputee professional firefighter and first amputee to serve in Iraq. While there, he was crushed while rendering aid to Iraqi civilians during a firefight. He administered self-aid for a serious stomach injury before being sent home a month later to recuperate. What he didn't know and didn't find out until 8 years later is that the incident caused a spinal cord injury that eventually left him paraplegic. While going through rehab at the San Diego VA Medical Center in 2012, he found out that the National Disabled Veterans Winter Sports Clinic and attended for the first time later that year. And he has been to every clinic since. We would normally play a video, but cannot do it here this year. Fortunately, we'll be posting on the Winter Sports Clinic app and DAV's YouTube channel for you to view immediately following the ceremony. We highly encourage you to watch it and learn more and see this amazing individual in action. I'd say give it about an hour after we're done, okay? Good old internet, right? With that, I'd like to invite him up here to receive his award. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 DAV Freedom Award recipient is William Bud McElroy. Come on up, Bud.
Also, a big thank you to all of VA Western Colorado Healthcare System staff and doctors who came and supported us from across the country. We had 15 doctors here with us. 2 were from Western Colorado, and all others 13 were from all over the country. So I really appreciate all that support from all of our sister and brother VAs, so thank you for that. Thanks to the local organizing committee for all that you do to make this happen, not only this week, but for all year long. With my staff of the hospital, I've been with you for about 2 years now, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't reflect on how proud I am of each of you, particularly during this COVID situation that we've had to confront. Without all of you, this could never happen. As was mentioned, normally during this part of the ceremony, we have a closing video to show you. However, as was mentioned, at about 7:30 is what we're thinking. That video will be available on YouTube, so please be sure to check that out. A special thank you to the communications team. Those are the folks all around you wearing those bright blue, wonderful, colorful jackets that you have. And they created this video, and they supported this event all week long. You guys did a great job, so thank you very much. So they did so under the supervision and leadership of Jason Strickland over here. So Jason, So finally, in closing, I would like to leave you with one last thought before you depart. And it goes along the lines, I'm going to follow what the secretary said. I challenge you to continue what you've learned this week and take it back home with you. Keep connecting with your local adaptive sports community and inspire at least one other veteran with what you have accomplished and with what lies ahead in your journey. Farewell, everyone. Safe travels home, and I hope to see you back here next year or at another of the VA's National Adaptive Sports events. Good evening. This concludes this ceremony. Thank you for coming.